All right, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to TrendSpider Live. My name is Mike, and today we are joined with Dave, the founder of MobyTick Trading. How's it going today, Dave?
Oh, it's going awesome, Mike. It's great to meet you guys.
Yeah, of course. So if you guys didn't know, MobyTick is Dave's company, his platform, and he has a lot of custom indicators, or two custom indicators here on the TrendSpider platform, specifically for finding dark pool prints. Is that right, Dave? I don't want to butcher your indicator. Maybe you can just give us a brief overview of how you're trading.
Yeah, so essentially, for those of you that aren't familiar with dark pools, what I actually do, and part of my business of MobyTick, is we track all of the large institutional block trades. And so a block trade essentially is something that's more than 50,000 shares and usually over a certain dollar value. So the benefit of doing that is there are actual exchanges called dark pools, which became legal in 1979, essentially, where companies don't have to go to the open market and buy and sell shares directly to us as retail traders. They can do it essentially in the dark. And so, for example, we'll talk about one today, a $1 billion trade on SMH, the semiconductor ETF. It never came across the time and sales until the order was actually completed, right? So the idea that we have for traders is if you can learn to think like an institution, because it takes a little bit of time for them to get into that position, but once it starts moving, there's some great benefits that you can achieve there. One is getting in earlier, and the second is what I like to call catching the options chain off guard. Because if there's going to be a massive move, you don't have that volatility baked into the price of the options, right? And so we can discuss some of those sorts of things as well. So I've got data going back to January 1st of 2020. So there's the whole COVID sell-off. There's all of these things. So we're talking about Coinbase and things today. Yeah. But what I really wanted to do was just show you guys a little bit about what the dark pool is, because nobody's done this before. You put in a ticker on the chart, and then you can say, for example, where are the institutions positioned, where the largest trades in the last year. And I'll show you how I do that, is because the year is kind of important. And like I mentioned, that these guys are in it for the long term. So they have to size up and then manipulate the price here and there. Oh, 50 million, 100 million, dollars here and there, get the price where they want. And they always know before the news hits. So the idea here is, like, we want retail traders to be able to anticipate these moves as well. So that's really that's the lowdown. And so I can show you a little bit about how that works. So
yeah, absolutely. If you want to put on your screen, I can do so. You have something ready to go?
Oh yeah, I was, let's see if I'm sharing.
Or I can just look at the chart. Like if we just look at this Coinbase chart here, let's maybe just break it down for coin, for maybe it's in coin. I see. So for one, I have the custom indicator here on the TrendSpider platform. First of all, let me drop a link for anybody on TrendSpider or that wants to just see what the indicator is in general in the chat below. It's also in the description below. So you guys make sure you check it out on our store page. But I have the 15-minute chart open, and I'm seeing a couple different lines that looks like they started today, right? Looks like a 300K.
Yeah, so there are some options. I'm just seeing if I can share my screen here.
Yeah.
With you guys.
It was up. You just removed. There we go. Here.
I see what happened. Okay.
So you're up now.
Yeah. So here, what I've got it split 5-minute on the left-hand side, and on the right-hand side, I've got the daily chart. So what I can do here with the indicator, it comes with a table. Anything's adjustables, on, off, whatever. These are the 10 largest dark pool trades. So 10 largest block trades, institutional trades in the last 6 months by price. Okay. So if we're going to zoom in and look at this. Okay. So this is really important. So the rank here is the actual size and value. So 341.03 is the highest value trade.
I see.
Okay. Yeah. 571,000 shares, 341.03. It's,
and that's only one. Can that be either a long or like a buy or a sell?
Yeah. So here's the thing. You're not sure what their what their direction is. So that's where there's a little bit of risk if you jump in too early. So there's usually a splash, right? Because you get in at a specific point. And here's exactly the idea. Okay, there's this massive trade here on this little doji. You see this?
Yep.
341.65, 341.03, $500 million. Nobody knows this. Okay, so what happens here is in this case, we pulled back, and usually it goes the opposite direction first. That's because where they get in, they want to pull back and buy some more and then move it up. And I would say about 80% of the case, 80% of the time, that's the case. So if you're looking at this and you're a regular trader and you see this sort of reversal pattern on the bottom, and then you start breaking some of these other trades, break and retest, right? So this yellow one, this is a 300,000 share trade at 327. There's $100 million right here. So in this $500 million trade, they've pulled it back, increasing volume, right? This is a great technical setup anyway, right? Yeah. But if you want to add this as a confluence that the institutions are there. Now look at this. I love this one. The next day opens, back tests the print, tests that trade, closes higher. And then the next day just opens and blows through this $500 million trade here, closed above. So if you're working on this intraday as well, I love teaching this intraday, because if we're watching this, so say you saw this massive trade on Coinbase, it's like, well, I can trade it every day because I've got this I've got this with the prints to actually show pull back and go. But on the intraday, if you're doing this intraday and you see this come down, break, test the print and break a major level, like a 50-cent level or a dollar level, or break the previous, you're in. Right. And then you look at the ATR of this, whatever it is, you can get a pretty decent trade. You could get the bottom of the wick up through to some other, whatever your technical analysis is for the day. Right. So this one actually moved all the way up to 400. And that's a major psychological level anyway. Okay. So what happens here in this case is we pulled back to this $500 million. Well, this was the $500 million. We're below this at the time. And so what happened here is this kind of went sideways, because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these trades. 5 of the largest trades in the last 6 months all occurred here. Mm-hmm. So we up thrusted again, but here's the catch. This splashed a couple times, came back up to the top. There's probably more trades here, and I can show that a little bit of an example. I don't want to talk too long because the earnings are coming up.
Yeah, all good. We got a few minutes.
Yeah, so we pull back. Now, here's the catch. If we're watching volume, okay, so we're breaking down below, increasing volume, closing below the prints right here. Mm-hmm. Okay, so depending on how you're trading it, if you're just doing shares, you got to be careful. Right? Because can you tolerate this 10 point going against you? I trade options and I usually do spreads. So if I'm going to get something and I'm going to risk $200, then I'm fine with it going to zero. That's my strategy here. But we've got this. Yeah. So we've got this coming down here, and then it actually comes down and comes back, retests and breaks below again. There's a lot of break and retest traders, right? Yeah. Break, retest, breaking below this print here, 314.
So were you trading this move like with spreads? Were you doing credit spreads or debit spreads?
So what I wind up doing is I usually trade the SPY, because I don't have a lot of time to trade. So the SPY is like 90%. If I see something that comes across, I've got a scanner that picks up all of these trade setups, right? Nice, yeah. I'm in a Nokia. There's some you just see, and it's like, I'm going 10x in this because it's the perfect setup for me. And so I did that with like Comcast. I was trading with a buddy, and he's like, well, we should think about it. I'm like, no, F you, I'm already in. Right? No, it was 70% overnight, man. Yeah. I mean, there's things that just scream to you, right? So now this year was just the last 6 months. So when we look at this for the indicator, I'll cover this, then we'll go talk about something else. I've got it. So what you can do here is this one, you can go back a year. There's two indicators. One can go back 6 years, and the other indicator, the pro one, you can actually do segments. So if you wanted to see all the selling before COVID, well, I'll do January to March and see that. But if I want to go back 1 year, for example, and say I wanted the top 20 trades, you can go up to 30 with this one. Then you actually see here, this is great when it comes down to it. This big yellow one, look at this. Look at the market structure with the institutions on this, right?
Yeah.
There's the trade, splash in the opposite direction, come back down, break, close above 2 prints. Look at this one.
It's pretty common. It does that.
Yeah, break, retest, test it again.
Yeah.
You have to be super patient.
Yeah.
If you're not patient, you'll go broke, right? And then look at this. Oh, they did the break and retest for earnings. Look at that.
There you go.
Because look at this one right here, 236, right?
Yep.
So when you average all of this out, they're in, they could be selling, who knows, but they could still be buying down here, adding to their position, knowing that it's going to come back. These guys very rarely going to get a margin call, right? Yeah. It's not like they're delivering silver. So anyway, so up. Oh, I got to show you that if we have time.
No, absolutely.
So there's the break, retest. And look here at the top. I'll move this out of the way. $310 million at the top. Up thrust, back.
So that was a new one too, right?
Yeah,
that wasn't there. Yeah. Oh no, that was previous. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it was a new one. And yeah, that was at the 400 level or so.
Oh yeah. They got you. And so look, this is the last year. So to get in at 184 and sell at 400. And you've got however many, say you got 1 million shares. That's $300 million profit, right? They're going to, and so these little trades here, and when I say little, you got to kind of laugh a bit. Oh, I got to, you know, 325 million, 176 million, 319 million, all in this consolidation. It's going sideways, right?
A lot of money, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So, but they're positioning. And so the idea is, you've got the break, the retest. When you have increasing volume breaking below, this can be difficult to trade. I know there's a lot of, and related to Bitcoin and all of that sort of thing. But like the same thing with IBIT, right? Anybody that's trading the Bitcoin ETFs, we knew the thing was going to crash. I mean, you see 1.7 million on IBIT and you're closing below it. It's like short Bitcoin. Do your 500 times leverage on that something.
There you go.
But this is something that nobody sees, and no other platform actually. Like I see platforms that say, well, here's a volume indicator, or here's where the levels are. It's like, no, here's $1 billion at this price.
Yeah.
Right. So now
for the biggest trades. Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I'm peeking at your 5-minute chart over there on the left, and it looks like there's a level that we reacted to today.
That's one that came in today, $43 million at 143.42. Yeah. And so it would have come in down here, and we've pulled back to test it and then pulled back again. So here's the catch. If we're going into earnings, these are the ones that were in the last couple days. So these are now resistance. And so if they become support, then we can go up. So if this one's going to be good, I would say potentially 163 right here on this one. These are the largest ones in the last, let me check this indicator.
The market's about to close here any second now.
So let's see.
Movement. Yeah.
Do you want me to switch to a 1 minute on this, or what's the deal? Or do you want
to? We can do that. I can actually put mine, or no, leave yours up. Yeah. Switch to the 1 minute. Just zoom in a little bit here and we'll see what happens. I don't think the numbers come out until 5 minutes after the bell, but we might get some movement. But let's see. Should be fun to watch. So that level right there is what, 143.42. Looks like it's the first line of resistance, right? That we're traders will be watching, but never know with earnings. You never know with earnings what could happen when those numbers come out.
Yeah, and that's the thing, because I everybody's got an opinion. And so I don't normally trade earnings.
Just about.
There's some that I saw and didn't trade, and it's like, oh, you wish you did, right? I saw some Amazon. Do you remember a couple years ago? It might have been 3 or 4 years. Amazon tanked like 200 or 300 points. Remember when it was like over $1,000 or something?
Yeah.
I saw them. It was 900,000 shares at the bottom. This is when it was thousands of dollars. Wow. And then the day before earnings was 900,000 at the top. And my buddy that's trading options, he's going long. I'm like, what on earth are you doing? It is exactly the same number of shares that is several $100s apart. Yeah. Right. It's like, I don't see them doing it. Right. And so I have another buddy that was trading with, he spent $200 shorting it on options. He bought something like $200 or $300 out of the money, and he made $8,000. Right? Because I'm like, I'm not trading this thing. I won't, because to me it's just gambling. But some of them you see it and you're like, wow.
You're talking about just naked call options or whatever they're buying.
Yeah, those are just lottos, man. I mean, you've got the IV Crush, you've got all of that sort of stuff. It's like, if you're gonna go for it, go big or go home. Get something for 10 cents or whatever the deal is. But this guy, he spent $2, and I'm like, I'm not spending $200 on a contract. Yeah. He's like, well, I just made 8,000, right? So I spit at him.
No, I hear you.
Yeah.
What else do we got? Report earnings. We got Coinbase. We got Arista, I believe it's called. ANET, ANET. You got Airbnb, AMAT. You got Rivian, DraftKings. So many names.
Yeah, I wrote down the list. So I mean, if the economy is going to shit, then everybody's going gambling, right?
Yeah. Here, let me say. Let me
put it all black 31, man.
Let's look at this. We got AMAT coming up about $15 a share. It's got these 1-minute charts up. AMAT is the only one that I've seen move so far. It's a pretty good move too.
Oh, and speaking of AMAT, yesterday 182 trades, 188 million at 188 million shares at 325.07 and 100 million at 322.51.
Wow. 325.07. Yeah, that's essentially the bottom of today. You said that was a couple days ago.
Oh yeah, they were yesterday.
Yeah, AMAT. The bottom today was basically like 325 something there. So that's interesting. And it's shooting up right now 8% in the after hours market. You got Airbnb shooting up as well off of my charts here. We went from about $3 on Airbnb, but AMAT looking really, really good here in the after hours session so far. Let's see what else we got. Let's see. So Airbnb, wow, Airbnb continues to move up, hitting 119. See what DraftKings is up to.
You know what's good about ANET? I know we were talking, we were, being all down on fundamentals and stuff. Yeah, but they do all the networking equipment, right? It's ANET, or does AMAT do that? Well, yeah. So I was thinking about it. If they're doing all the network equipment, then that means the chip suppliers must be
talking about ANET. Yeah.
Yeah, ANET. That's. Oh, I was looking at AMAT.
ANET. They're both today.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So because the thing is one's doing all the AMAT builds the tooling for the chips, right? I think that's the right one.
And I'm not even sure, to be honest. I'm like you. I trade mostly the charts.
No. I was just thinking about it because one of them builds networking equipment where they're doing like fiber optic networking and all of this other stuff. Yeah. If they're doing really well, then that means maybe they'll there wouldn't be the chip shortages and stuff like that, because these guys are going to make their money, because as you get to deploy the data centers, that's when the orders come in for this sort of equipment, right? So that's further down the supply chain. So that's my fundamental BS for that. I'm just looking at the prints, but
absolutely.
Yeah.
But we got a lot of movement. We got Roku is actually reporting today as well, up 5-6% or so after the close. Coinbase earnings, for those asking, should be in about 1 minute. AMAT continues to rise, though, up almost 11% now.
Yeah.
We got Nader out there in the chat saying Polymarket has high odds that Coinbase beats earnings. So he says like seems like insider bets is a beat, which is always fun to pay attention to. And just struck 5 minutes after, so we should get a movement here on Coinbase any second. Now, if you guys are out there in the chat, let us know what you guys are trading. You guys in Coinbase. Hopefully, some of you guys out there in AMATs, because looks like a great great move.
Yeah, we talked about it. Coinbase had $143 million trade today at 143.42.
Yep.
And that was the well, they retested it and it bounced off below. So now the
like
initial move is down. We'll see. It does like a 1, 2, 3 sort of thing before it sorts its life out.
Yeah. You got ANET starting to get some movement. Can't pick a direction. I got the 1 minute up here. Very indecisive candle. Coinbase looking like it's dropping on the first move here, but you never know. It could get bought up.
The interesting thing about ANET, massive trades consolidating all day today. 30, what is it? 30, 42, 50, $60 million today on that. Another trade at the low of the day, 132.80. And so the other thing,
ANET.
Yeah. If you looked at my screen for a second, you can see now this is cool because see the size of this candle?
Yep.
Look at the print, 141.20.
Nice.
Right?
Yeah, that's
$7 million right here. And that was just the other day. I took the table away there. So we'll see. So right now, here's our support and resistance, right? Is this range. But look at this getting ready for earnings today. We had this was support, break, retest. They didn't hold my 15 exponential moving average. Came down here, bought some more.
Did these prints come in? Like, did that print like prints like at the low right there? Or did it print like in the
morning? So the way that this indicator works is so it updates, the Pro one updates every 60 seconds.
Nice.
So what'll happen is if you're watching this and like, for example, SPY just had a 700,000 share trade, right?
Yeah.
And so what'll happen is if you're watching this and the indicator, the top of every minute it updates. So it's 407. So at 408, it does another pull. So if at 407.54 a big trade comes in, well, within 6 seconds it's on your chart. Nice. But if it comes in at the minute and a second, you've got to wait 59 seconds, right? Yeah. So that's the best we can do.
No, that's pretty quick. Pretty quick if you ask me.
Well, a lot of data vendors are 15 minutes delayed for options and
yeah, absolutely. Let's take a look. People are curious. It seems like the Coinbase earnings are out. Let me stick up my screen right here.
Sure.
Coin still really hasn't moved a whole lot. We got Nader out there in the chat showing us the earnings. Looks like, is that negative 2.49? Let me take a look at the actual, hold on. Let me get my chart up here with my news feed. Let's see if not seeing it in the actual news feed yet. But Coinbase is, rejecting this dark pool level right here. Again, that level we're talking about, that 143 overall, it's moving down. Going to keep refreshing my newsfeed till I find the official numbers. But Nader's out there in the chat. He is seeing negative 2.49 EPS with an estimate of 96 cents. That sounds insane if you ask me. What was their latest? So they negative 2.49. Wow. They haven't really had a negative EPS like since 2023. So if that is indeed true, that is a crazy bad. What does the revenue come in? Revenue 1.7 versus 1.83 billion expected. So seems like a double miss from what those numbers Nader said. I'm still confirming here.
Yeah, and you know what's crazy about earnings, right? So they'll maybe have a crappy earnings, but then it goes up because they'll do their call and because the market trades in the future. So they're always like, well, it was a crappy quarter, but the outlook is great. And then
it's very true. The forward guidance is always incredibly important because you're right. Yeah, the markets are indeed forward looking. And even so, we've seen companies like App yesterday report great numbers, and it just wasn't good enough. So the company still tanks. So it's really kind of a crapshoot. But I would agree, if you were to look at anything from an earnings report, I'd say like the forward guidance from the earnings call transcripts would be probably one of the best things to look at. And people are talking about Pinterest too. Let's take a look at Pin.
Oh yeah, they've got
oof,
they got something. Oh yeah,
big
somebody
drop
put
there.
a pin in it.
Put a pin in it. Yep. Not seeing numbers on our official news feed for that. Let's take a look at ANET again here. Here we go. Here's some actual numbers as it flies above a bunch of levels there. Let's see. The EPS beat, sales beat, double beat on EPS and revenue for ANET. And then for forward guidance, they're seeing Q1 sales 2.6 versus the 2.4 estimate. So amazing report there. Good forward guidance and a double beat for ANET. Take a look at Rivian here. Rivian also up pretty good in the after-hours session.
Really?
Yeah. Not seeing numbers on them yet.
Oh yeah.
ABNB. Airbnb also looks mostly bullish here. And for Airbnb, EPS missed and sales beat, so a half beat. And good forward revenue guidance for Q1, which is likely the thing setting them up for Airbnb. So good forward guidance there. Let's see what else. DraftKings. DraftKings will be interesting because Robinhood recently reported, which is kind of a competitor to DraftKings now with their prediction markets. Not seeing any numbers yet for DraftKings though, but Coinbase should have their numbers in any second now. Still not seeing them, but Coinbase is still down on the day, rejecting that level. Still down only about 3.8% though. So nothing too bad there. What else are we seeing here? Oh, interesting. We got Bros. Was it Dutch Bros reported today as well?
Coffee, eh?
Yeah, coffee. Looks like pretty good forward guidance, or about on par with the guidance. Nothing great, but we got an EPS beat and a sales beat for Dutch Bros, so they're looking good. I haven't really looked at this chart in a while. Haven't really gone anywhere in quite a bit, but good earnings report it looks like for them. And let's check out Roku. Good forward guidance for Q1 sales. EPS beat on Roku and a sales beat. So an amazing report on Roku as they are up in the after hours session. Pretty good here, about 15%. Wow, that's a good one. Very, very nice.
If you the interesting thing there on Roku, like the post market. So what it did is it came down, like it dropped down to a low of 94, 95, right? I think.
Are you talking about Roku?
Roku. Yeah, I'm looking for today.
The low today, seen about 78.
Yeah, so I'm just looking at this candle here. On the daily, the low says 78.53. Yeah. There's a 27 million share trade at 79.59. And so yeah. So you can see that in the
interesting.
That was from June 9th of 2025.
Oh, so you're going back. You're going back. Do you have that up?
Yeah, I just have it set to a year. And so because the earnings thing, it's difficult. So when you're doing something like this and you want to see, it's like, where are the institutions at with these stocks? What you really need to do is zoom out to get the largest trades in the last 6 months or a year or something and see where the position is. Because once you zoom in and then do, say, 6 months or 9 months and then 6 months, you can see where there's smaller trades that actually manipulate the price, right? So in this case too, it's like, well, I'm going to go out further and say, if the thing's going to tank, where were they buying before? And so the 79.59, they tagged it, and then now they're moving up. So 90.29 is a big level. If we can close above 95.20, then I can see it easily going to 100, right? And that's just looking at where the institutions have their positions.
Yeah,
on
makes sense.
that. Yeah, and
There's a
then
nice on August 1st here. Looks like they had a perfect bounce off of those levels you're talking about, around like basically right under 80 right there too, which is very interesting. And then we did the same thing just today during these earnings. It looks like, so yeah, pretty cool indicator
yeah,
here.
they're just big break and retests. Well,
Yeah,
now here's the thing. Think like an institution, right? Where are you going to get your shares from? That's why there's all the FUD, the fear, uncertainty, like the UNH, right? You guys talked about it on your live stream the other day, where they were just, and I did a whole class on that one where we showed the news, like it's dying, there's more pain, more, yeah, and then all of a sudden 1.2 million shares right at the bottom. And
yeah,
the thing, and then 10 days later, it's like, oh, Warren Buffett picked this one. And a lot of traders that I knew, I actually had people write me
remember that.
that
Yeah,
said, this one trade just paid my whole year's subscription, because everybody was calling it out on that. I wrote a blog article about that UNH trade.
Yeah,
and
no,
then
that's
it's
great.
so we're always saying, it's like, yeah, these prints or trades come before the news. And that's why I really, really love it. When I first started trading, you and I were talking before the event started, but it's like I would read analysts' reports and there was something wrong. It's like, I'm a big Matrix fan, and I just kept thinking, it's like, there's something not right here.
Yeah.
Because how can the entire market move together? And then, like the SPY gaps 14 points. You remember that in April, SPY gaps 14 points.
Oh yeah.
It's like, yeah, they knew. Well, I was following the options market too. I've got an options feature that's coming out. I saw this drove me absolutely crazy. The day before the 14-point gap, I saw $15 million in premium of these institutions selling put spreads, right? So what they were doing is they took in 37 cents a contract, risking $930 a contract, expiring the same week. Wow. The next morning, so $15 million. You think, how many contracts is that for $37 a contract?
Yeah.
And so the next morning they were worth 2 cents.
That's
right.
Wild.
Oh yeah, they manipulate that.
So this so your indicator is taking it's only shares, right? Or is like options as well?
No, it's just it's only shares at the moment.
Yeah.
And you guys do options though with your platform, right?
We have unusual options, but our next update is going to have full options chain data. So maybe you can so once we have that, we'll have full options data. Not quite yet. We have unusual options, which is cool. Kind of similar to yours, like the big volume options.
Yeah. So I'm tracking options trades, anything over 100,000 in premium. Yeah. That's what I'm doing. And I've got about a year's worth of data. And I don't, if you guys are doing it, that's fine. I don't want to compete with you guys on any level with that. I mean, I figured we've partnered for the indicator part. Yeah. And so I'll do the options thing within my own platform.
Yeah, no worries at all. No worries at all. We do have that data available, but do your thing. Do have some people asking about AMAT as it's sitting here up pretty good. Just real quick, anybody that is just joining in, for one, welcome, and two, here's the AMAT earnings. We got EPS beating estimate, $2.38 EPS, beat the $2.20 estimate, and sales just over 7 billion, beating the 6.87 billion estimate. And then we got some forward guidance here for quarter two, way higher on EPS, about like 2.6-ish midpoint versus a 2.28. And then sales is sales guidance up as well, about 8 billion versus 7 billion estimated. So AMAT absolutely killed it for those of you guys asking. And also, if you guys are just joining in, make sure to like this video and subscribe, and also check out MobyTick in the description below. These are the indicators we're using. They're made by Dave here, the founder of MobyTick. They are dark pool indicators, allow you to see the biggest orders in the market. And these custom indicators are available on TrendSpider. You can use the link in the description, and I'll drop it in the chat one more time for you guys to check it out. And if you guys have any questions for Dave while he's here about dark pools or anything like that, it's not like super commonly known info. And this Dave here is an expert at it. So definitely let us know in the chat below if you guys have any questions on this stuff. But yeah, let's see. Coinbase. I'm still not seeing actual numbers out for Coinbase, and the stock seems to not want to go anywhere. Let's see here. Yeah, Coinbase is still just kind of hanging out right here at that. I thought it was the dark pool level there at
yeah, it's sitting on one as well, the 143.42.
Go back to 30 days. I think that's what showed it. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's 143 right here. Has reacted to that level several times today. And there's
you see how the line goes into the pre-market?
Yeah, that's
that's today. Because what happens is the line goes back to the day that the trade occurred. So you can see that it's not just right across the chart.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it
occurred came today. In the pre-market or?
No, it occurred today. And so I just have it starting on the day so the pre-market at 4 a.m. If you have that on there, then that classifies as today.
That makes sense. Yeah. Since it's just for the day. Yeah. Yeah. Makes sense. Makes sense.
Well, because what happens is the trades are aggregated because for example, you have 4 100,000 share trades at the same price on the same day. Well, that just counts as 400,000. And they actually, the institutions sneak them under the radar because they think we're not looking. Right. There's 4, the indices, the SPY, Q, IWM, and the diamonds. Those 4 are the only ones that have trades that can be reported 24 hours late. So what they'll do is they'll cross the trade between their London and New York desk, for example. And so they don't have to report them for that. And so the line in the sand, I forget what it is for the SPY, it's a $9 billion print level. And when you overlay that on the SPY and the Qs, and you're just like, I can't even fathom that much money. What's this 15? And during COVID, we saw 55 million shares in one trade reported the next day. Insane. Yeah, you're talking like $17-20 billion, and just selling and then buying at the bottom. Yeah, and so for this, I really appreciate. I love the technical analysis. I appreciate the fundamentals, but for me, it's if somebody's going to put something like $1 billion into a stock, I want to be on that guy's team.
Yeah,
right. We're not going to. This is as close to me calling you up and say, "Hey, I'm gonna buy $1 billion of Apple."
It's true. It's a good way to look at it. Yeah.
Yeah, and so the catch with this too is, there's a bid and an ask and all of that. That doesn't really matter because it might take a few minutes or hours or even days to get a large order filled. So that's the big question that I get. How do you know if it's buying or selling? Because people will look at the bid and the ask, right? And I'm like, you can't, because the way that the quotes work is the quote stream. So when you're looking at the data, you get trade, and you've got another stream of the quotes at the same time. When the trade hits the tape, the time in sales, finally, it gets matched with a quote. It's not that, oh, this order is executed, here was the best bid and ask at the time. You have to stitch that together as the data provider. And so if it took 3 or 4 hours for this thing to fill, it was below the bid, it must be a sell. It's misleading, right? So all we know is that somebody spent that much money at that price level. So whether it's defended or it's resistance, right? So if it's support or resistance, that's what we have to determine. And that's determined with patience. Unless you know the person who made the trade with their intention, that's the only way to know, right? For sure.
Absolutely.
So that's, are we watching something else at the moment? I was going to show you something interesting with silver.
Yeah, you can want me to put on your screen real quick?
Oh, sure. Yeah, if you want.
Yeah, sure. I can stick that up there for you. Well, you got silver?
Yeah, so I wanted
silver. The metals have been crazy.
Yeah, so I really want to show you this. I'm going to put I'm going to adjust this to the last is it 30, 60 days? Let's see. There it is. Watch this. Oh, and I'll get rid of this chart because it's the table. Let me just hide the table. So here, remember everybody was screaming about silver? So this is the last 60 days, and I'll just show you when I do my YouTube videos in the morning, we always look back 30 days anyway. Mm-hmm. But you can see where they're adding to their position, right? And this is hundreds of millions of dollars, 300 million right here. And so pull back, add to their position. Everybody, you know, buy the pullback, buy the dip, whatever.
Yeah.
And then this day, remember silver crashed like 20-something%. I called this out when it came across my block trade indicator.
Nice.
313 million. It was on Twitter within 5 minutes of it actually hitting. 104.41, 300 million shares in this doji right here.
Nice.
We tagged this one. And
was that more than all those other ones that were on the way up, that 313?
Yeah. So if you look at it, look at the low. So the next day, look at this relay race. Boom, tag the print. It screwed off all the way down to this print right here, to the penny, $300 million right there. I've got to zoom in to see them properly. Pretty much to the penny. 120, so that's 190, 290, 320, $400 million right here. The low.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
That's
so
nuts.
But look, this is just the last 6 months. They were in here at $60. And then, you know, the problem that the banks were running into, like there were, I don't know if you guys are aware what was going on with silver. China, a part of this run was China banned the export of silver now, and it's used in everything. So as far as supply management is concerned, companies like Samsung making cell phones and whatever they're making, they went out to the open market and they bought 6 months supply of silver rather than the just-in-time ordering where it's like, oh, I need this many pounds of silver on this day and whatever. And then you've got all the dealers, because usually with silver futures, what happens is people just roll their contracts over, whether they make money or lose money. They don't want to take ownership. But now everybody wants to take ownership of the silver because there's a massive arbitrage opportunity with there being a $20 to $30 divergence between the US market and the Asia market. So everybody wants that. So now the banks who took the other side of the trade have to cover. And so what wound up happening here is they had to deliver silver at $70 and $80 an ounce, and it was over 100. And so one silver contract is 5,000 ounces. So there's billions of dollars.
Yeah.
So up here, instantly, 24% decline in the price of silver. And I saw this on Twitter. I don't even know if it's right. JP Morgan got out of their silver contracts break even, right?
Yeah.
And other banks, I think the bank went under last week, something like that. But this is the manipulation. So now you watch the news. I'm not like silver's a little bit different, but watch the news when you see when everybody's saying the world's ending, watch for prints.
Yeah. No, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very smart.
Because
very
where are they going to get them from? If these guys, there's the silver hype, and it was real. Like there's still a hype for it, but it's going to the moon. $5,000 an ounce, right? They could sell 3 million shares or $300 million right here, and then they're so powerful that because the dark pool is involved with these, you've got the bid and ask, the time and sales, all of that. All they have to do is hit sell and pull their orders on the order book. And then it's retail getting sucked out all the way down here.
Yep.
And so I've got
crazy move.
Yeah, no, you can talk. I get all excited about this. You'll never.
You're good. You're good. I love the excitement. Coinbase just had their earnings come in through our newsfeed. I see EPS of 66 cents, beating the 64-cent estimate. And then we got sales missing 1.78 billion versus the $1.848 billion estimate. I'm going to use Sidekick real quick real quick to analyze what just happened in coin. I actually did stick a prompt in there before the earnings came out, and Sidekick did actually say sell. So let me analyze what coin is doing numbers wise, like EPS, revenue, and all that with Sidekick after the numbers have come out. And it's looking like Coinbase isn't really doing a whole lot still. If you go to like the daily chart right here, I mean, definitely just not moving a whole lot, which is kind of interesting. I have to keep checking to see, make sure I have this aftermarket data on. I sure do. And it's just not doing anything on these earnings. Like it's literally flat as a board right now with a half beat. Let's see what Sidekick has to say though. Wow, 66 cents. Was that really 3.39 was their previous quarters for EPS right here? Yeah, 3.39 per share. They had EPS in 2024. And then this one is only 66 cents. And same with revenue, 1.78 billion in revenue, under the $1.8 billion estimate. Pretty crazy. Yeah, Nader, you're whatever you found that on was so far off. Unusual Whales, I guess, posted it. Crazy. But let's see. Key news recently. If you guys didn't know, also, the CEO of Coinbase, Brian Armstrong, Sidekick noted it when I asked it earlier. Even it said the CEO is selling $545 million of stock, which is never really a good sign. He could just be, taking. You just needed some money, but definitely not the greatest look of all time. But let's see. Sidekick, even before and after earnings came out, rating it a sell. So it says 80% year-over-year EPS collapse combined with the CEO's massive pre-earnings liquidation shows this company is in serious trouble. Obviously, I'm sure you guys have seen Bitcoin. The entire crypto market has just not been doing good. That's the exact reason why Robinhood came down so much on earnings, as because their crypto revenue is way down. It's really just depends on the price of crypto, to be honest, how much people decide to trade it. And you can't actually find all this info in the What's Happening Now tab. All you have to do is add a feed, and then you can put in there insider trades, which I already have here. And I filtered it to Coinbase with Armstrong as the name, and you can see all of this insider selling right here. Pretty crazy stuff. And actually, you can even press this AI button right here. We'll have Sidekick AI go ahead and break down all of the selling from Brian Armstrong. I mean, crazy amounts of selling here. I can actually remove Armstrong and see everyone else what they're doing. So there's not a single insider buying this stock right now. Over the last several months, everybody seems to be selling. I can't even find a single buy. Yeah, it's just craziness. No buys at all down here. Wow.
You know what's interesting about the Sidekick thing is I asked it today. I said, use my dark pool indicator and tell me what's going to happen with earnings based on the institutional positions. And it was neat.
So Sidekick can't access the custom indicators data, but it can read your chart. It can see what's on your chart itself. So basically it takes a screenshot and analyzes what it sees there.
All right. I thought it was pretty cool though.
Yeah, no, it is. It can actually, it's actually helped me explain a lot of these indicators a decent bit here.
You know how you get, I've got a question for you about Sidekick. You know how you have, you can ask it a bunch of questions and you're limited, right? Which makes sense.
Yeah, it depends on your plan. Everybody gets 25 messages for free.
Okay. I was just wondering, is maybe you guys, just an idea, because I would do it if I relied on it all the time. Maybe there could be some top up option, or get somebody on a better plan. I don't know, because if you could say, oh, I want to top up my Sidekick for $25, and
you can, you absolutely can. We have plans that start. I think you get 100 messages a month. But yeah, we get that question all the time.
Okay.
You definitely can upgrade it and get more messages. Absolutely. Hit up Nader too. See what he says. He can ask the customer support team, or we have this contact us button down here too, where you can contact customer support directly. I don't have access to like, all that stuff, but
I'll
yeah,
tell
absolutely.
you, your support is phenomenal. Like it's
great, right? Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Compared to like
I clicked,
other platforms.
when I first signed up, just somebody just pinged me in the app to say hi. I was like, oh, that's
nice.
neat.
Yeah, no, we have great support. Arguably one of the best things about our platform is we have a lot of really smart people that know exactly how to use it. So very, very good selling point there. You can even get like a 15 minutes one-on-one call if you want it as well with one of these guys. But you can always just chat with them too anytime. So
yeah, I appreciate it because I was taking some time to learn it. Yeah, because I'm not a huge fan of TradingView. But,
yeah, a
it
lot
looks
of
like
go ahead.
looks like Coinbase is holding that 143.42 level.
Yeah, it's not really moving a whole lot right now, is it?
No, it's at 145.50 almost.
Yeah, it's right above that line. I mean, the EPS beat, the sales missed. I mean, crypto itself is just not in a good state right now in general. Let's see how did Bitcoin actually do today? Let's take a look here on Bitcoin.
Yeah, we'll see.
In the daily, it's not looking very nice today. Hold on, let me get a better chart.
Oh, we're at 65.7 on
yeah. Not a lot of buying in the crypto space lately. Not a lot of buying in the crypto space. This is my weekly chart. We're just got sucked back into this consolidation range right here, back from all the way back in April or even like February 2024, like 2 years ago. 2 years of gains essentially wiped out recently on Bitcoin here. So
yeah, I bought a bunch of XRP when it was like 33, 38 cents. But then
yeah. Nice.
Yeah, well, I know it's either you love it or you hate it. I just I think it's a pretty good thing, especially with that ISO 222 compliance.
Yeah,
all the banks by November they had to all be compliant, and that's the backbone they're going to run. So I think they're just depressing all of this, just like they do in the dark pools. Fear of crypto's dead. All of this, and then so everybody that bought at the top, it's like, for me, it's like I had no intention of selling any of it, because I just feel that it's like owning Bitcoin at $3. And I'll tell you, I missed that one. I had a friend that I was working with. I was at an IT job, jumping up and down just out of school. Bitcoin's $3. You have to buy it. I'm like, what on earth is that? It's digital money. It's like, if I can't hold it, I don't want it. And then
it goes back and forth with the crypto space. I mean, it's such a new asset class that it's just really hard to say what's going on. Someone in the chat said, look at pins. Yeah, Pinterest is pretty beat up here in the after hours session right now. What is that?
Yeah, we put a pin in Pinterest.
Man, that is one nasty looking chart right there.
Oof.
Pretty much all-time lows nearly. Can't really pretty crazy. Let me put up my my multi-symbol view here. But overall, I mean, decent moves. We got Coinbase, looks like up a little bit. AMAT is the big winner today. Yeah, Roku up 10%, and then ANET up a decent bit as well. Somebody is asking again about ANET. Sure, we can cover it again. Let me have Sidekick cover it and see what Sidekick has to say. Because when it comes to it's the wrong one. There's my other account there.
And DraftKings is in some trouble.
Oh, DraftKings. Yeah, I keep forgetting about that. Let's take a look.
It's down about $4 since the close.
Okay. But here is ANET. Let's look at DraftKings while that spits out a response. Oof, DraftKings. It looks like DraftKings stock drops on Q4 results despite a beat. What is the beat? What is the numbers? Great EPS. EPS came in at 36, beating 14 cents. And sales just barely beat 1.99 billion or so versus the $1.97 billion estimates. So pretty good earnings, but DraftKings, I mean, I think there's just so much competition with these prediction markets for DraftKings. Like Polymarket, we got Robinhood even doing it now. It's just like So much competition over there, and the whole gambling scene is honestly kind of wild. Let's see. Yeah, exactly what Nader just said in the chat. Too much competition with gambling and prediction markets. Absolutely. But let's see. This is ANET. Look at that. Beautiful EPS beat at 82 cents, beating 72. Beat revenue by about 0.1 billion. And forward guidance beat as well. So couldn't get much better here on ANET. Sidekick gives it a buy. So looking pretty good. Looking pretty good for ANET for whoever was asking that. Here's the nice chart for you. And yeah, if you guys didn't know too, Sidekick has access to earnings call transcripts. So tomorrow, or in like maybe a few hours after all these earnings calls, if you guys are interested in seeing what the CEO said and the questions, you just go into Sidekick and ask it to summarize the earnings call. Like I can just go in here, type summarize the hood earnings, earnings call from yesterday. And it should go ahead and do that for me. Yeah, Robinhood, brutal time yesterday and today. It looks like, or it was 2 days ago for Robinhood earnings. Yeah, wow, they're down quite a bit again today. Not super great over there for Robinhood. Yeah, is there any other trades that you've been looking into yourself, Dave, that might be interesting? Any cool dark pool prints that are of note?
Well, I'll show you. I mostly trade the SPY.
That's fair. That's fair.
Well, because if you trade other things, you generally match it up to an ETF or whatever the deal is. So I'm just like, well, I'm just going to cut to the chase and do that.
Yeah.
But I'll show you something here, and if I go anything over minimum share size, I'm going to do 10 million shares.
Cool. Here, let me stick up on the stage real quick. Yeah, most of the earnings we've already covered. So if you guys missed us covering the earnings, make sure to rewind. But yeah, we'll probably just be on live here for the next 20 minutes or so, just chatting until an earnings call from, I think Coinbase comes on in about 20 minutes. So
I just want to, so these are the big ones, because the SPY and the Q and the IWM, really, that's the focus of the market, right? So this is where you're going to get the largest trades. And when we look at the SPY, so this is back April, right? The world, and I did a whole session on this. The world's ending down here because of the tariffs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you look at this at the bottom, $13 billion at the bottom.
Yeah.
Right. And so this was like Trump tariff wipes out, $5.7 trillion, whatever the deal is. There's more pain and suffering to come. But this is exactly what you're looking for when the world is ending and you see something like this at the bottom. See this? You've got down, down, down. And then you've got this massive rejection, increasing volume, break, retest, breaking other prints, right?
Yeah.
It's a great entry point. So, and look at all of these. These are billions of dollars. Now, they'll turn around and blame retail. Retail panicked, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we panicked down here and we sold you all our shares. That's the story.
Yeah.
And so this.
So are you normally day trading?
Yeah. So if I can, there's some, if I see a swing trade, I mean, I'm trying to run a business and stuff like that. So if I get an hour, 9:30 to 10:30,
right,
something like that, I might day trade. But so this is kind of what it looks like. We have this zigzag sort of mess, but this is what you got to be careful of. If we're going to have a correction, like you had this massive pullback, and how many people go short in this? We've got this massive pullback, and then all of a sudden it reverses, right? Mm-hmm. That's a $5 billion print from back here.
Yeah.
So these are the levels. Remember, they own the market. You're playing their game. And when you see this over, so here's a line in the sand right here, this one here, 5 billion. And we've been just whipsawing through it. So now, what do we do now? The SPY's down $11 today, but this is support, 680, 679. $13 billion.
Yeah.
So now it's a great trade, right? But if we break below, retest, come down 671, 663, 659, don't panic. It's easy, right? Let's look at this here. There's no other than my silly moving averages, right? These are just the institutional trades here on the chart. And so we had this pre-market up, tagged this old one, 695.43, and rejected right at the open. And then consolidated a bit here on this $5 billion trade from before, back up, rejected this. I've got my 200 simple, 200 exponential. That's massive on a 5-minute. Doesn't hold that. Increasing volume, breaking below the print. There's your entry, 691.99 below the dollar.
Yeah.
And no reason to get out. I have a 4 and 8 exponential moving average for the lower time frame momentum.
Yeah,
and I'm only good
like a trail, right? Almost.
Yeah. So the 4, that's the massive momentum, because that's the red one, and it's just touch it, move down, touch it, move down, touch it, move down, and where you wind up getting out depending on where you get back in. This is my trading strategy if we wind up closing above one of them. Now, I'm trading options, so I've got to get out into strength. So when I see this,
puts or put spreads, or
if it's day trading, I try and do a 50 delta, like right at the as close to a 50 delta as I can.
Okay.
And so, back of the napkin, that's easy because 2 of them's 1.
Yeah.
So if I get 2 contracts, it's penny for penny, right? On the thing.
Yeah.
So if you look at it here, the entry point, other than I mind the dollar levels, 255s, things like that. Those are the psychological levels. This is a great entry point right here. You tested it, didn't hold, increasing volume, breaking below.
And that level, when did that level initially print again? Was it way back?
That was yesterday.
It's yesterday. Okay. Wow. Nice.
Yesterday's. You can see that one here, right? And then so you can bring up the chart, like the table with all of the trades that are on it.
Yeah.
So this was yesterday's level. And then without drawing any trend lines or anything, it would be helpful to do that, right? Mm-hmm. This is right. But anyway, it was just a straight sell-off. And then I would be taking a little bit of trouble, because if I do 10 contracts, if I come down and it moves 75 cents or $1, well, I'm going to take 2 or 3 off the table. It's the pennies that pay the bills sometimes, right? Because if you get stopped out, it's less of a stop. But you get a break like this, take some profit here. And then from 690, if this is going to go, and you have this, look at this volume here. This is absolutely massive. And then, whoever would have caught this right here, 690 to 683, 7 points.
Yeah.
Right. And then look, we can't hold it.
How often do these trades come about? Is it like almost like every day you get a nice?
Every day.
Okay. Nice. That's
you can trade the SPY every single day.
Wow.
And but when you look at it, right, you see this yesterday, you see this candle and you're like, it's a bit crap, right? It's just a little red one. But this opened, came back, tagged another print, and started moving up. So let's go. Let's look at yesterday. Right. So this one here is this. This is what it turned out to be. So at the open, we break below. I would say when we break below these levels here, we don't hold, right? Mm-hmm. But anyway, there's this trade. This one actually came in the day somewhere, because see how this starts pre-market. So you just got to be careful. This is an older print here, so this to me is a target. And then when we come down, this is the beginning of the wick, right here. This is the beginning of the wick. Testing that, break, retest, moving above. And so if you're scalping $1, $1.50, $2, something like that, then you're golden. This just got tangled in my moving averages, my 200 simple, 200 exponential. That's how I trade it. So if you're going to trade the SPY every day, when I look at this to me is kind of an inside day. So because this body is within inside the range of the previous candle.
Mm-hmm.
So when I see that on an index, I'm like, it's got a lot to fight with.
Definitely.
It's got to break above. So I'm a pretty cautious trader, but when I see a setup like this today, this is a great opportunity to get in.
Yeah,
right there.
Absolutely.
Had I was doing other things like watching your video.
There you go. Hey, I love that. Thank you.
Yeah. So anyway, I would have seen that. I'm going in 10, 20 contracts.
Nice.
Easy.
Oh, very cool. Yeah. If you guys have any questions out there, if you guys are in the chat about these indicators, we're probably going to hop off here in 10 minutes or less and maybe play an earnings call. Let us know down below if you guys have any questions or want Dave here to cover anything about the indicator before we listen to an earnings call. Also, if you guys are curious and listening to an earnings call, let me know which one that you guys want to listen to. Coinbase, their earnings call does not start until like another hour, I think. So we probably won't play that one. Applied Materials is actually on right now. So maybe ANET we could play, but let me know what you guys are thinking in the chat. And any questions if you guys have any as well. But yeah, pretty interesting earnings today. Coinbase, pretty flat. So if you're trading options for these Coinbase earnings, hopefully you're selling them, because we didn't get much of a movement at all so far. Let's see. Oh yeah, so we got the Arista earnings call live. So is ANET. So I could play either. So I'll probably just go ahead and start playing one of those in a second here. Dave, thank you again so much for coming on. Is there any final words that you have, whether about dark pools, about trading in general that you wouldn't?
The only thing I wanted to show you, there was 2 massive trades today. One of the largest ones in probably a year on SMH, which is the semiconductor ETF today. $1.68 billion, 408.54.
Right 408.54. Okay. And what is that? What do you think that's meaning for the overall semiconductor market?
Okay, so here's how we map that out.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the largest trades in the last whatever it is month. Yeah. Okay, so this is the last. So when I teach this, when I do my YouTube, we actually have a look. We have a look, right? So we've up thrusted, pulled back. We think they're buying more because look at the low, more prints here. We've come up to this level, and now we've pulled back, and there's this $1.6 billion trade. So what we want to do is, if you're going to swing it, if we're doing swing trade, bullish above 420, bearish below 390, 393.
So 420 and 390, those are
393. Yeah, or even 380 if you wanted to be, because when you're above all of this, when you're above all of these prints, that's the conviction. They've done all of this to add to their position. They've pulled back even though they're bullish, right? They've pulled back and essentially buying more. And then when they cross above these, see, we open, tag the print, they're buying more. Open, tag the print, buying more. Open, tag. And then so this one opened, tagged the print, and then there's a new one. They can potentially be adding to their position. I would say bullish above 420. This is the double top.
Yeah, it's all-time high.
Yeah. So if this one's going to take off, then yeah, bullish above 420, or at least close strong above 420. The high here is 421.50, so even 422.
Yeah.
And then so you just got to mind your P's and Q's. Right now, this isn't a higher high. We've got this higher volume. Yep. It's a bullish, what a piercing, whatever you call that thing.
Yeah.
It's looking bearish, but that's the thing. You need, when you're looking at these things, you can be bullish, say AMAT, whatever the deal is. At what point would you go short? You have to make that decision, because you can't have that bias. If I would leave you with that, you can't have the bias. I'm bullish above 422, 422.50. I'm bearish below 380 or 390.
Or 390. Yeah, 390. Yeah.
390. That's a 20-point range, but the thing is, look at the ATR of SMH. And you've got to be patient.
Both levels, within the last month, less than a month. So
yeah, that's And you think this is almost $2 billion right there.
Yeah, insane. Absolutely
And
insane.
this is one trade, guys. So for you guys looking at it, it's like you're the Gary V, whatever he said the other day. He's like, yeah, I just put 6 figures into MU. And I'm like, brilliant, right? Well, there's $1 billion trade in MU. Is that you, Gary?
Yeah, right.
Was it 9? I want to tease him if we ever get on a call together. There's
actually, it'd actually be really interesting to see any of these levels on those memory names, MU, STX, or WDC.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of people. I'm in one of those names as well right now.
Yeah, so MU, so whoever, if we're swing trading, right? So there's this one, here's 240 million. And now look, this is back from January 29th. So
January 29th. What are we on? MU? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so look what happened. We just farted around these prints. This 330 million print here is support. Tagged it again.
So lots of support right there under that base.
Oh yeah, look,
that consolidation.
Yeah, so when you're looking at this is a huge impulse.
Yeah.
One, if this, I don't know if anybody's big into fibs or whatever, or Elliott waves anyway. So if this is a 2, then 3 is going to be at least 50. 1, 2, 3, 4.
It's extended above a lot.
Yeah. So I mean, there's that. So if I'm not in MU, I took my profit on it back here when it did this. I think this day, I got in here and then I just got out there.
Yeah. I had a similar trade. I forget exactly. I think I got out of my initial trade. Let me see when it started pulling back. But I recently, I'm just kind of have a pretty tight stop. I got out on the dip around like early February. And then I got back in with a pretty tight stop, just to see if there's one more leg up. It was actually, I got in like yesterday. It's up pretty nicely today for a little bit on STX. Decent sign, but we'll see how it plays out. These memory names are definitely interesting though.
Oh yeah. Well, the, what are the other ones? It's Western Digital, STX,
WDC,
SanDisk.
And SanDisk.
Yeah.
SanDisk. I traded SNDK and MU, took profit on both of them. Now I'm in STX, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, so here, this is where, I mean, if you're overall bullish and you're going to hang on to it, me personally, I wouldn't get into a position on it until it did something. So here's the volume today. On this volume here is absolutely massive. So what I want to do is there's 2 things. One's the day trade. So we've got these other trades here. You can see all of this. It looks like potentially a distribution thing, like almost a Wyckoff thing.
That
sure it's almost like a Wyckoff top. You know what I mean? Like that's what it looks like. So you've got to be careful. But the next day, what we would do is if we tag these prints and move back, then you're shorting at the prints. If we break above them, then you can definitely go long on it.
Yep.
And so see here, this up thrusted today came back, but this is support. And this actually traded today, but this one here, this 24.9 million is an older one. So maybe they're adding to their position, but it's really difficult to make this decision here. If you're looking at that, it's better to make that decision back here, right? Or back when, so the trick is being able to find them, right? If I go back 90 days, for example, on this one, right? These are easier to spot. Look at this, 238.37, or you've got this pulled back, break, retest. That's simple. You're not fighting. This is the trend. You're not fighting with it. Here, what's happened is those of you that have missed this and missed this break, retest, right, of the prints, this is classic. Right here, break, retest, moving up. This is already a parabolic move.
Oh, yeah.
You've got almost a flag, right? If we hold this level and start moving up, then it's game on. But this for me right now, you're not 100% sure what the institutions are doing. But the whole point is when you see something like this that's trending, absolutely trade it like you would with your own technical analysis. And this is the confluence. You see something pull back to a 50 simple moving average, and there's a $41 million trade in a doji. You're like, damn it. This one opens above the next day. You're like, I'm in, right?
Beautiful confidence.
Like,
no, it's been a beautiful trade. Beautiful trade.
So your
it's
stop
definitely
is
coming probably close to like maybe one more leg up or a top, but
well, it can't go parabolic forever. And you know, like with the GameStops and the AMCs, I'm sure there's people that got hit with the GameStop at 500, right?
Oh yeah,
I remember it hit that.
The thing is, like, for me, like, I'm just in it with a pretty tight stop. I think on STX it's at 367 or so. So if it hits that, then I'll just be out and I'll forget about it. But best case, I catch another leg up if it does make another breakout. So we'll see.
Yeah, and so the other thing too is you can always get back in. Yeah, that's one thing. And so and I always ask people, it's like, well, what's your time horizon? If you're like, oh well, I'm 20 years old and I'm going to retire at 65 and I'm just buying the stock, it's like, then put some money in MU and shut up and look at your portfolio every 10 years. Because what is driving, you know, industry and whatever now, it's all AI. So if you're going to get into something that has to do with circuit boards, silver, gold, whatever the deal is, manufacturing, memory, servers, data centers, power, anything like that, you know what made more money than the gold rush is the picks and shovels. So when you're looking at ANET and that other one, I can't remember, it's those are the picks and shovels.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. AI is going to be forever. And if you get into the mini nuclear reactors and all of this, like Bloom Energy and all of that, look at what the institutions are doing. That's a confluence for you guys.
Yeah, no, energy has been a big topic lately. Is there any specific energy names, like maybe just XLE or just energy in general? BE, it's a good one. That's one's been on my radar for sure.
Well, and so this is, see, like we can go back further. You can see when they'd be buying back here if we went back further. But say you're getting into this now. So you're looking at Bloom Energy. This is where the institutions are. It's an absolute disaster looking at this chart right now. So what do you, if you want to play it safe, you got to get above this high with or without dark pools, right? But right now, I would say 157.50, 160. Right, then we can get up to 170, whatever. If you can do that, or we get below this candle, 137.50, the $2.50 level. Let's get then let's make a lower low, something like that. But right here, you're at $250 million between 145 and 157 in 3 trades, and that's the takeaway. Is I don't care about the Wall Street apes, all of the. No, they tried AMC and GameStop. I was on a call with 1,100 people, and they're like, "We own the stock, we own the float," and then it turns out Citadel's just printing shares and selling it to them. And then the person leading the call wound up saying, it was my friend Stephanie Camerman. She's like, "Hey, when you guys log into your platform, there's a tick box that says allow your broker to loan out your shares. Have you ticked that box? Because it's on by default, right?" And they're like, unbelievable. And then I was in GameStop at $3 and I sold it at $5 because it hit a dark pool level. And when it went to 100, 200, it's like, there is no way these Wall Street guys or the apes are gonna beat the institutions. They're in at $3.
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
And then I bet you, and I can't prove it, I bet you they started that whole movement.
You think so? Yeah, that'd be crazy.
No, look, hey, you and I say we got in and we're going to do something like GameStop. We get a bunch of money. We buy up all the shares at $2.50, $3. We create some buzz, right? The 750 calls go through the roof. There's millions and millions of them, right?
Yeah.
And especially that's the absolute best, because to do it in the options market, when you have that many options, it's sitting there. It's not that somebody took the other side, but only because if it's a dealer, an institutional dealer, like say I buy 1 million contracts of the SPY, that's a ridiculous amount of money. What happens is the dealer that takes the other side of the trade, they're not betting against me. It's on the bid and ask. That's how they're making their money. But they have to stay delta neutral, right? So if you get up to that break-even point where they're going to start losing money, they have to buy the stock. I mean, what a plan, right? Because now the dealers have to go out to the open market and buy the stock just to break even. And that thing shot to the moon bags. And people, I bet you they planned that. Because I think
I'd believe it. I'd sure believe it. Dave, by the way, we got people asking for your social handles and whatnot. It's should I just drop the MobyTick X here?
Yeah. So Twitter, I'm always posting something on Twitter, and
yeah, we'll probably head off here. So tell people where they can find you. Tell them your website and all that stuff.
Oh yeah, so the website's MobyTickTrading.com, and then YouTube, just MobyTick. And then Twitter is MobyTick as well. I'll just get that on the bottom here. It's Twitter is Moby_tick, and then YouTube is MobyTick Trading.
Perfect.
And so drop me a note, or just admin or support at MobyTick Trading. I'd love to hang out with you guys again.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But thank you again so much for coming on. For all you guys out there in the chat, I don't think we're going to play the coin earnings call because it doesn't start for a while still. But do make sure to use Sidekick to analyze it tomorrow. I show you guys how it works right here. I just had summarized the Robinhood earnings call from yesterday, and it just went ahead and did that. So tomorrow, since we're not playing the call, just do the same prompt for coin here on the TrendSpider platform if you wanted to check it out. But yeah, again, thank you so much, Dave, for coming on. It was great having you. Super cool indicator. And thank you so much for showing us how you trade and just everything.
Yeah, and if you guys want to hang out anytime, you can come on. I'll do a live stream. You can all hang out.
Sounds cool. We can do a nice cross stream here on StreamYard.
We'll smoke cigars and swear at each other and stuff.
Sounds good. I love it.
Okay, so I'll drop off then. That's the plan. And
I'm going to drop off as well. I'll send it right now. So thank you, everybody. Okay. We'll see you guys next time.
Okay, take care. Thanks. And it was great meeting you, Mike.
Yeah, you too.
Okay, bye.